why suddenly we had like lion dance music at the back? Do you hear that?
No leh.
It's kind of like lion dance, or maybe just me. All right. Anyway, so lion dance on my side, not everyone's side. So,
Welcome to
yeah.
episode 88.
Welcome to the three Marketeers shows. As usual, what
Yes.
you have witnessed just now is actually Manfred's work. He actually put so much heart and soul into this intro, so we have to
Yeah,
give
and
him
sweat.
credit on
Huh?
that thing. Yeah,
Oh.
bravo. So yeah, basically this is an episode where we have a very special guest talking about a topic that we totally have no clue, which is co-working space. Welcome to the show, Sharon. Welcome.
Welcome.
All right.
welcome.
So as usual, if this is the first time you see us, this is the Three Marketing Show. I'm Jason. We have Andrew from Malaysia, Manfred from Singapore, and we have been doing this for like 88 weeks now. We have interviewed a lot of awesome people in the past 80 over weeks, and a lot of awesome topics, discussions, and all that. So if you're interested in digital marketing, entrepreneurship, marketing, and all sorts, so go back to my YouTube channel and watch all the episodes. You can just do whatever you want, right? So basically, what we do here is we interview awesome people, and we try to pick their mind about a lot of different techniques or knowledge and all that. That's how we learn. All right. So basically today we have Sharon, and Sharon is Andrew's guest. So I will let Andrew introduce Sharon to our audience over here. So Andrew, how did you find her?
Okay. Before that,
Discovery
by the way,
journey like.
watch our shows is definitely better than Netflix series. Number one, because it's free.
Absolutely free.
Number two, you have special guests almost every episode. Unlike that series, you have the same people. The storyline is totally different, all right? There's no cliffhangers because one show finished, that's it. Talking about that, how I met Sharon through LinkedIn as usual, and that's where I hang out. And we were part of Bob Lowe's LinkedIn class, and as you get to know people more, and I
By the
found
way,
out
Bob is here. Say hi to Bob also. Bob. What's up, Bob?
Hey, hi Bob.
Yeah, and Chiwa is here. Chiwa is so excited. He's here on YouTube, today.
Oh,
instead of
Chiwa is
Facebook,
on YouTube. Okay.
And then he say episode 88. Hola.
That's why now we got
Wow,
Miss
great.
Ong inside. Ong already. Yeah. So
Yeah, sorry for the interruption.
And I found out that she actually ran a co-working space.
Yeah.
So if any one of you who have watched the recent series, I think it was Apple on Apple
TV.
Apple TV, right? We Crash, which is a derivative story of WeWork. Definitely not as glamorous as that, but more grounded, right? And that's a real business, For TV, stories made for TV, sometimes you cannot 100% believe. And I felt it was necessary to basically share with all of you the business and the nuts and bolts of business of running a co-working. It is not as glamorous as you would like to think, but definitely is I would call it a hospitality business, isn't it?
Yes,
Sharon?
very much.
Oh, very much a hospitality
Yes.
business, right?
Yes.
So with that, we have Sharon on, and to share with us about her co-working space and her experience running it. And she was going to share also an interesting episode where how she actually inherited this space.
Right, it was
Very-
wow. That's
Welcome
awesome.
to the show.
Welcome to
Thank
the
you,
show,
thank you,
Sharon.
thank you.
So
It's
that's introduction from Andrew. So Sharon, we will hand it over to you. Maybe you share with us a little bit about your background, about the story of inheritance, and how did you get into this business?
okay. First of all, I didn't get any inheritance. Okay? I need to get that out of your mind. No inheritance. I'm basically from the School of Hard Knocks. All right. First of all, thank you so much. I'm really honored to be. When Andrew asked me to join the show, I'm like totally honored. I couldn't say no. And on top of it is episode number 88. It's like you guys, hats off to you to be.
The universe has spoken.
Yes, to be able to, continue episodes like this for 88, I don't know how you do it. I mean, for me to go on one show, I'm like totally cold sweat already. You guys are doing it for 88 times already. And I think you guys should plan a fantastic 100 show. You need to start planning for it. It will be very exciting, right? So thank you so much. It's an honor to meet all you digital and marketing seafood. And I love that video just now, Manfred. There's a lot of video editing that we need to learn from you. Thank you. Right. So yes, no inheritance. I basically came from a school of hard knocks. My parents were basically government servants. My dad was a teacher, headmaster. Then my mom works for the government, basically a government servant. So, um, growing up from Fraser's I came from Fraser's. Yes, people do live in Fraser's. I used to, tell people I grew up in Fraser's, and people ask me, is there really people staying there? I say yes. Apart from monkeys and me, we are there, right? So I grew up in Fraser's and went to school there, primary school, and then after that, there's only primary school. So by the time we are 12 years old, all the Fraser's students will graduate, right? So that basically made us a bit more independent than a lot of young kids, because by 12 years old we are basically in KL, or staying in some hostel, or staying some with I stayed with my grandmother. So that was childhood for me. And yeah, and didn't really make it to the big universities, and so I went to the School of Hard Knocks, and after STPM, didn't make it to the university and ended up on the street selling encyclopedias.
Awesome.
So I took out a
Ah,
copy of encyclopedia, which is really old, because I think the new gen doesn't know what an encyclopedia looks like.
Yeah, we
I
all know
know.
only know Wikipedia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah,
So this
Right.
was the Google of the yesteryears, right?
yes.
So I came out selling these books, and in my bag, I would have like 5 copies of this size of book in the bag.
Wow.
And then this is where we call cold calling. So these days, your cold calling is calling, right? To us, is
Mm.
cold calling means going from office to office, and you basically just knocking on the door and say, "Hello, Mr. Andrew, can you give me just 5 minutes of your time? I've got these fantastic things to share with you. It's full of knowledge, and you really need to look at the colors, right? Do
Oh
you know
wow.
what this is, right? Let me
Wow.
show you." And at that starting of a process of the sale. And
Wow.
Crazy.
never gone to sales school, never gone to any of this stuff, and just had to do it lah. Just had to make
The
it.
best sales training ever.
Hey,
But
that's
Sharon, to
actually
fill in the context, for those youngsters, like like for those who don't know, how much is the thing again?
Um, this was like 30 years ago. Okay, so
30 years
uh,
ago, how much?
is about 2000 plus,
Holy.
2005. And I remember my mom bought this. I didn't sell this. This is Britannica. I saw the American one, which is Americana. So it's
oh,
almost the same price. So this one, my mom bought it for me. I remember she actually had to pay, like, don't know, 36 months installment. It's like buying
Crazy.
a car like that right now.
right.
Yeah, man.
It's
Seriously, back
a
then.
it's
At
a
the
set
age
of
of what?
24 books, right?
Yes, about 24
Oh,
books.
about
And after
24
that,
books, right?
you're lucky. They throw in a set of dictionary for you. They give you
Right. Yeah,
a
yeah.
shelf and things like that lah.
I
Yeah.
know.
Wow. I
So
remember you wanted
your
to say
mom bought
something. What
it
was
at
that?
the age of
Come
Sorry,
again?
Manfred.
sorry, how old are you when you received your encyclopedia?
Hey,
When
hey.
I had my first encyclopedia, I mean, my parents were teachers lah. Okay, my
Ah,
so to them, education was huge, right?
Absolutely.
So that time, I think I was just about 7 years old. I mean, this set,
Wow.
I had it like 7 years old, so I kept it really precious.
Correct. Yeah. That was
Uh,
my dream set, man. When I was 7, people were carrying it around. I said, wow, I gotta have this, man. So much
Ah,
information.
right.
Yeah.
Today, everybody wants an iPhone, right?
I know. That's right. Or
the
iPad.
story that you just shared reminds me of Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness. No?
oh
Mm.
yeah.
Yes,
In
yes,
the
Mm.
yes.
machines.
Oh, yes, yes. Nice
Correct.
movie.
You just have to make it, and then I was that time ego lah, right?
Yeah.
That time I was like in my early 20s, must wear 4-inch heel lah, because I'm short,
Oh,
right? So I have to look tall. So it's like with 4-inch heels, and you're walking from one building to another. And at the point of time, you just ask me which building in KL, I know exactly which one. How
oh
many
my.
floors that building has, right?
Right.
Which building has a door that the fire escape that you can use, which
Mm.
building you can't use, because some building you can't open from the other side, so you get
Yes.
stuck. So we learned the trick where, the minute you get into the building, you just open the door, check the fire escape, whether you can use the staircase. Otherwise, you have to wait for the lift to go floor by floor.
And you also discover which building has some of the cleanest restroom.
Yes, exactly.
Now,
I
I
know.
mean, since you're at this story, this really is something very interesting, Sharon. If you don't mind, where I would like to dig in a little bit further on this one. What was the biggest challenge selling something like that back then, and how did you tackle that?
Oh, that's a good question.
The biggest challenge would be really to get yourself an appointment, because it's really the law of average. It's basically, it doesn't change. The principle doesn't change. You need to meet X number of people to get the X number of presentation, right? And then with the number of presentation, then you'll be able to know how many you can close.
What was the closing rate like back then?
I need to do 4 presentation to close 1.
Wow.
That's
Not bad,
good
leh.
one.
Yeah.
That's
How many times, how many doors you need to knock in order to get
25% conversion. Facebook also cannot give you that kind of conversion.
Facebook give you
How
crap
many
right now.
times
crap.
Really full presentation, really a full presentation. The guy have to basically pay attention to you, not for fun one. It's like, you create that
Yeah.
interest. Yeah. So every 4 you get 1.
That's the definition of high ticket item already. Those days, 2005.
But no, the most important thing, how many doors you didn't knock in order to get 1 presentation?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I
Now
can't.
we're
remember,
getting it statistical.
I can't remember the numbers.
Roughly.
Okay.
Well,
And
no, more than that.
More than
Definitely.
wow, okay. That makes it sounds very difficult now.
I think
Yeah.
At first, you look at
right?
4 presentation, you sell oneself sounds happy, but wait,
happy,
a lot of
eh,
doors
I
to
think
knock,
100,
man.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So 1 month I can sell about, when I started, okay, maybe it's four a month,
好勁啦喎，喂
right?
Oh.
For a month. Some, of course, some months 0 lah.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it'll be up and down.
Yeah. So you go the whole day. It's really the whole day. In the morning, you just hit all the offices, because that's where people are working, right? So you
Right.
hit the offices. You become very good friends with the receptionist, so that
Very important.
allow you to go and meet some people. I was selling the children encyclopedia, so my target market was really the young mothers. So then after that, after 5 o'clock, you basically get into the van, and then your senior will just drop you in some taman, whatever, housing taman, right? So you just go house to house.
But young mother doesn't necessarily all congregate in one building, right?
Yeah.
Housing now is actually going from house to house already, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evening is half
It's
the
like
house.
a, it's like a
house
housing
to
area.
house. You hit the housewife, or you hit the ones that has finished work and they're back at
Yeah.
home, right? So
Timing
you
is
go
an
house to house.
issue. Then different young mothers also have different behavior, buying patterns,
Of course.
timing. Then, it's freaking not easy, no.
It sounds like
It's freaking not easy. It's freaking
yeah, it's
not.
like rocket science to me. But here we have Cindy here, okay, responding
Hi,
that
Cindy.
Cindy saying hi to Sharon. She said she thinks that her dad actually bought the Americana version, dark brown version.
Yes.
Was that both
Yes,
the
that's
adult
the
and children's
Americana,
version?
which is the world book. It's called the
Wow,
world book.
came with a bookshelf.
Oh,
Holy,
yes. Yes.
wow, that's awesome.
Hey, those books are really, really thick books, I mean,
Yeah,
high
I
quality.
believe so lah.
Hardcover.
bounded.
Color, mine is white color version, very thick one. The one more.
Walao.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And then we have Chiwai here saying that, at the nature of business, there is no intent at all where you just knock and pitch your way through. Yeah,
I'm
it's
so
just
glad that
saying-
now Facebook is doing all the heavy lifting for us. And
Yeah, and
We
Chiwai is
had
saying,
it easy right now.
yeah, very easy. Now it's very easy, not for everybody. I mean, but still there are challenges, but I would say back then, it's really, blood and sweat.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's really
Yeah.
hard work. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and Chiwai was saying, how can a person like So Sudden give you 2.5K out of the blue, right?
you are reminding me of people selling insurance and property. I always get people knocking on my door asking me whether I want to sell my property or not.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
That's
think that's why I now, whenever somebody call me, I speak to them nicely. I don't just slam the phone. I just speak to
Yeah,
them.
me too. Yeah. It's not easy work, to be fair.
Correct. Everybody is just trying to make a living.
I know, but then I always ask one question: what is your unique selling point? What actually makes you differentiate from your competitors? Why must I choose you? You must give me a good reason. I'm not trying to make things difficult for you.
Very chim are you.
But a bit though,
Because
if you're not ready to sell to my
Manfred,
just tell
I
them.
chose you. I called you. I chose you.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
There.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Now you didn't met Sharon, that's why. That's why you
That's
can
why lah.
you can drama a bit over there. So let's
Otherwise,
drama a bit.
otherwise you mortgage the house just to buy the insurance. Right?
But that's a good one. That's a good one.
So,
Okay, now
so,
maybe
so we learn. I learned resilience, lah. Is
Absolutely.
not giving up. You just have to continue. So if you don't give up, the result you will get the result. Yeah.
It's sort of this whole thing will mold you into putting hard work first before you enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yes.
Because nowadays youngsters always want instant gratification first, then perhaps they don't even want to put in the hours.
Yeah,
So
very true.
you become the kind of person you do first, then maybe they enjoy the fruit of labor. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
awesome. But Sharon, how did these, I mean, all these experience shape you and help you in your current venture right now?
Well, all this experience definitely made me very resilient, and also to know the fact that there's no such thing that cannot be done. One. Right. Yeah, it's really cannot be done. I mean, I've had my staff telling me, say, boss, by right cannot So I said, if by right cannot, let's
By
go
left,
by left. Right. So there's no such thing as cannot be done. You just have to do it. You just have to find a way to do it. Right. So
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Now you know why I call it Taikache, right?
That's good boss. That's good boss. You know, a boss that shapes you. And Chia is saying the problem with nowadays cold call is they bought a database list elsewhere and the person just called without knowing,
Yes.
who the heck. Yeah, I mean
It's
that's
different.
the problem.
That's
Yeah,
also
that-
true.
We averagely we receive about three calls a day. At least 1 to 3 calls a day, and most of them they get. I mean, yeah, this is really the reason modern day cold calling, which is in a way it's actually unethical.
Yeah.
Not like back
It's
then
kind of these
you
people-
really build that kind of relationship. Back
No, those days were face to face. You see, knocking
Yeah,
on
yeah,
doors,
yeah.
they can see your
Yes.
face. That's different.
Mm,
You know?
Yep.
then.
Yep.
Yeah, Manfred, you want to say something? You raise your hand. Granted.
I forgot already.
What? Okay.
Okay, moving on. Then you subsequently co-founded the original call center.
Yes, I mean, life is basically everything is like I think things will fall into place lah. I didn't come out to say I want to go and sell encyclopedia. I just landed a little advertisement, and after Form 6 I said come out to get some extra income, and the advertisement basically say exhibition promoter. So as a young so he's like, okay lah, exhibition promoter, go and sell cosmetic only from in the shopping mall, right?
Right.
But we were actually selling encyclopedias, right? So first week was really in exhibition promoter in Subang Parade, where we were actually promoting it in the nice aircon environment.
Right.
A week later, we were down on the street to go knocking, right?
So they give you something sweet to start with.
Yeah.
So I got the hang of it. I was making some money. So then I told my dad, I mean, my dad is all about you must go and get a university degree, right?
Yep.
I mean, headmaster, Hainanese family is like education, right? So,
Yep.
and I didn't want to put them through to a situation where they have to basically go and borrow money. I know my parents was going around, trying to get all the MCA loan and all those stuff to basically help me
To
to
hell and come back just to do.
I just didn't want them to go through it. So I said, why don't you just let me do this? I promise you I will still get my education, right? So I did that. And 2.5 years later, and I was basically doing my knocking on the offices, and I came across this particular office, which is insurance agent's office. And at a point of time, I looked at it and said, oh, okay, I need to sell the encyclopedia, right? So this lady in front was telling me what they do. They're doing insurance. And so happened my mom, which is, we are from Fraser's Hill. So my mom has a gang of people who plays golf, right? Playing golf in Fraser's Hill is not like, whoa, 100,000 membership. Everybody in Fraser's Hill play golf because that's the only thing we do free.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a free golf course. It's not what you think of. The KL.
Yeah, not a posh one lah.
No, it's just
Not a
everybody.
KLGCC or
Yeah,
whatever
everybody
CC
plays
lah.
golf. I
Right.
grew up going into the longkang, picking up the golf balls and things like that.
Okay, wow.
So my mom had this bunch of people who was doing playing golf, and then they wanted to buy insurance, because if you buy insurance, you get hole in one, you get a compensation, right?
Oh.
So 10 of them wanted insurance. So I walked into this office and say, hey, selling insurance. And then because of my sales background, right, I will try to basically bargain for everything. So I said, I want to buy 10 insurance, golfer insurance. Can you give me discount? So this lady said, only 10. I said, yeah, 10. Which person walked in and said 10? My sales training has made me to be very resourceful. I would think of all kinds of way to convince somebody, right? So then I said, okay, this lady, I won't be able to get through. I said, can I see your boss? So I said, you know how the gatekeepers are. Oh, my boss, he's busy. I said, so I heard somebody in the room. I said, your boss inside, right? They said, then after that, the extension rang. So the boss said, ask this girl to go in. So the boss was watching me from inside. Okay, and say, who is this lady, which is like, kaka chow chow, asking for all kinds of things, right? So I went in and I said, I've got this bunch of people who wants to buy 10 golfers insurance, like done great at that, which is right. So I said, can you give me a commission? Then the guy just said, yeah, okay. I'm saying, oh my God, this is too easy. You should ask for more. Then he gave me a piece of advertisement and said, look at this. So I looked at it and said, it was hiring for somebody to do marketing for a medical assistance company, right? I looked at it. I have no idea what the hell medical assistance is, right? But I look at that guy, right? And I say, this guy has got young children. I profiled him, right? I want to sell him my books, right? So he was trying to sell me this position. He asked me to join him as a marketing staff. He got a new venture, like a franchise, to provide medical assistance in Malaysia, which is totally new. Nobody has heard about it, right?
Yep.
No idea about it. So I pretend I understand. I said, wow, this is very interesting. I pretend because to keep the conversation going.
I like that. I like
sales, right? So then after
Yeah.
I will ask him, so how old are your children? Have you bought your encyclopedia for your children? You know how important education is. Very important, your children. So I start taking out my books lah. So he said, okay, my wife takes care of all this and things like that. So I said, okay, fine. So he said, okay, there's this job. You just come back next week. You come back and I give you this job, right? I'm like, seriously, right? So I said, no, I'm quite happy here. I have a friend who's looking for a job, so I brought my friend to come and see him the next week. Then he said, no, I want to talk to you. So I said, okay, never mind, bring your friend, right? So I brought my friend. So he kept talking to me, and then my friend was the one who needs the job. Then he said, okay, I hire both of you. In order to hire me, he actually hired both of us, right?
Just because he wants you, he hired both of you.
After that, that's what he told me lah.
Wow.
So this gentleman is currently my business partner. So
Awesome.
business partner for more than, I think, close to 27 years.
Wow.
So that's how we started. So, and like I said, everything falls into place because I wasn't going to leave my encyclopedia sales job. I was doing quite well, right? Then after a while, it's like something happened. There was some situation that happened. I said, okay, what the heck? I just left, and then I called him and said, okay, I'll come and join you. So myself and the other colleague started and came and joined him. So I started selling something that I don't know what the hell it was. Medical assistance, which was medical evacuation, where we actually do ambulances services. When somebody travels, you probably don't know what medical assistance is as well, right?
Is it a service or is it a product?
It's a service. It's a service. When people travel, insurance will pay for your hospital bills if you're hospitalized, right? But if you don't get to the right medical facility, what's the point of your insurance, right? You've heard of all these people who goes to remote places. They go to China, the bus roll down the ravine, and the hospital cannot treat them, right? How do you bring these people home?
Something like SOS.
exactly. That was the company lah.
Oh.
That was exactly the company, International SOS.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so again went into a space that I totally don't understand.
Mm.
So I did that, right? And then I like that business because to me is a good karma service, because it's a service that we go out and help somebody. Somebody
That's
who's
cool.
stuck overseas in a medical facility, family members are here, or even people who travel to Malaysia and needs to go home, right? You do all this, is you feel very, very rewarding. I personally feel very rewarding after we managed to bring somebody safely home,
Yeah.
right? But of course you do have situation where you have to bring bodies home, but again, family members appreciate it because you help them, right? So I like that business, but 3 years in that company, zero sales.
Would
Huh?
Yeah. So my
I saying, of
business,
course, the occurrence of this kind of thing doesn't
no,
happen so
no,
often.
The
nobody knew.
concept was very new.
Yes.
Concept was very new.
Yes. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted to take that stand, right? So the clientele that we were targeting was insurance company. None of the insurance company, oh, they know, oh, it's very good service. But since nobody does it, they don't want to do it, right?
Nobody
So
want to be first
3 years no
mover.
sales, and then this my current business partner, Andy is his name. He said, okay, I mean, the guy that I brought in to join and a few more just disappeared, left, right? I was the only one, last one standing. So he asked me, are you going to leave or are you going to stay? So I said, I have to stay because I've spent 3 years in this service. I really believe in the service, just that the timing is not right, right? So then, okay, he said, okay, I'm going to put in more money for it, right? So he put in more money, and the fourth year we had a breakthrough. So
wow.
we grew very fast, and then after that, we were in the company for 8 years. Then after that, 7 or 8 years, then the company was sold. So because new bosses was coming in, I thought it's not for me lah. I'm not very comfortable, so I decided to leave. So when I was going to leave, I went out and tell my clients, most of the insurance company, and said, look, I'm going to leave. This is the new person. These are gonna they're gonna take
Yeah.
over all these things lah, which is you are in good hands. And one of the clients said, why don't you start something on your own? I'm like, can I? Right? It's always been an employee, right? Can I even start something so specialized on your own, right? So I said, would you give me the business? I mean, I don't have a branding, right? This company is huge brand. They are worldwide.
Yeah.
He said, one thing that the client said that hit me was, it is sometimes it's not about the brand, it's about who I deal with, because I know you're gonna solve my problem. If I show
Oh,
just
that's a nice one.
I don't know whether this person is going to solve my problem or not. So I will still give you my business. So that was 1998. I started another assistance company, which is Asia Assistance. So that was I started it from my little apartment, right? So those days, no co-working space. So you basically stock it out from your own apartment, and then when you need to use internet, it was so expensive. You go to a cafe, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for the coffee, and sometimes you have to pay for a little voucher for the internet, and then it's like for 15 minutes kind of thing. So there's no co-working space, right? So the environment is totally different, right? So we started that business. Then we had this is then my previous boss, Andy, all right? So he came and then he says, hey, you got this business, why don't I invest into this business, right? Either, so then that was about after 3 years I started that business. So then we joined force again, and then we grew this company for 16 18 years. And we grew from a Malaysian entity, and then after that we had like 8 other offices around the region.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were having like 800 staff around the region. All right.
Wow.
So then we were going, okay, let's make this, is we already got our Asian company and Asian entity, a name that a lot of people know about. Then after they said, let's make this a global company. So we were actually connecting. We have started connecting into Germany, into US, and into Australia. And then somebody came and said, I want to buy your business. So we told them our business is not for sale because we really like doing this. We had few other partners who said, no, don't sell, we are growing and things like that. Why sell it? But after a while, after a few knocking and all, they put a numbers on the table, and like I said, never say never. So with that number, and then we rethought about it and say it's a good time to basically cash out lah. So we cashed out. We said, and it's also a good time because we have grown to a stage that we realized that it's digitalization world already. We need to invest more money to basically make the service to be more digital savvy, which requires a lot of investment. So then we thought, hey, if a big group wants to come in and make this a better company, why not? It's good for our employees as well. It's good for our customers as well. So we decided to basically sell the company, and then our plan was basically continue to work in that company and continue to grow it with this organization, because I still like that concept of the service, right? So one thing led to another. We continue for 1 or 2 years, but then you guys are entrepreneurs, right? Once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur. It's very difficult to be employed after that.
Yep.
Right. So you as an entrepreneur, you set your own direction, you make your own decision, very quick decision, agile decision. So we decided to just not continue and let the company, the new management basically run the company lah.
Right.
So hence comes back to the journey into the co-working space, where we actually have this building, because our group bought this building for an expansion of the existing business, because we didn't have enough space. So Icon City was building, and it was quite nice for us. That location was nice, so we bought the building. So now that we have sold the business, we didn't need an expansion for the building. So what do we do with this building? Right? It's not a time to sell. And this was like 2018, 2019. Nobody wants to buy your building, right?
Oh yeah.
So then we went into Icon City. We opened up one floor, which is our own office. Then we will say, okay, no problem. We have 7 other floors. We just rent it out, right? Nobody came. Because
So
Because
the
the whole
ability
place
to
is
see
empty.
crisis into opportunity.
The whole place is empty, so nobody came. So then we sat there and said, because we are all entrepreneurs, we're not used to basically sitting around and waiting for something to happen. Right? We need to make things happen. So that was 2019. Then we said, hey, this was the time of the WeWorks, and all this hype came about, and said, since we have the property, why not just give it a shot and just convert 1 or 2 floors into co-working space. So again, another round of going into a business that we totally have
No idea.
about, right? So to me, it's like there's no such thing as you have to do things that you know. You can only venture into things that you know, right? You can always unlearn and relearn. That's very important. Right. So when I get into co-working, zero knowledge about co-working, don't know who to approach. I mean, co-working is all about startups, the young, the hip people,
The meeting
I'm not in that.
rooms.
I'm not in that space. I don't have all these friends, right? So that's where I say, okay, I need to relearn a lot of things. That's where I said, okay, I need to understand digital marketing, how to do all this social media marketing. So that's where I landed up in the LinkedIn, Bob's LinkedIn challenge, where I met Andrew.
Yeah.
So everything happens. I always believe everything happens for a reason. I know.
No, but Sharon, you were born in Fraser's Hill.
No, I was born in KL. There's no hospital in Fraser's.
No, in Fraser's Hill, born in KL. Okay lah.
Born in KL, but I grew up in Fraser's Hill.
So you grew up in Fraser's Hill. That's a cool place.
Yes.
With the word
Nice.
cool. Yeah. So you're a cool person. What's wrong with that?
That's a good one. I mean,
Yeah.
what we really learned from your sharing up to now is really about, being resilient, believe in yourself, learn and unlearn,
Everything
and
is
relearn.
possible. Yes.
And make things
I
happen.
love that.
Yes.
Make
Yes.
things happen.
Against
Yeah.
all odds.
Yeah.
Against
Don't
all
wait for something to happen. You can create it.
I think the learning side of you is really the thing that a lot of people are lacking, because as you can see, like, you know, a lot of people actually stop learning,
Yes.
you know, actually at a very, very young age.
Yeah.
Because they got complacent with their job, you know, they got comfortable and eventually they stopped learning. And when the time they retire, they realize they are so disconnected from the world.
Very
Yep.
true.
And that's part of the reason why a lot of people have midlife crisis and all that. Because recently I do a lot of learning on my own, you know, soul rojak kind of learning. And I realized what keeps people really moving. In fact, if you keep learning, because I've been listening to some people who are like 80-year-old, 90-year-old, and they're still talking about learning, what the hell? But it's not really in our culture, our part of the world. Our
Yeah.
part of the world. I think that's something that's totally impressive. You know, love to hear, you know, like your story. That's totally amazing and inspiring. Thank you so much. And guys, do you realize that we never asked a question yet?
Yeah. I'll add something.
Sorry, I took the show.
Sharon, that was wonderful sharing. I really,
Fantastic.
I'm,
Yes.
I'm really
Yes.
captivated at every second that you say. You
Yep.
really caught my attention.
Yep.
I just want to say something that, you know, keep moving, keep striving, never give up, never surrender. Fall down 7 times, get up 8 times. Ease is a greater threat to progress than difficulty.
Yes.
Yeah. 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 We
Just
have
keep
Eloise
moving, keep
here.
striving, and see everyone back at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Eloise
Hi,
is saying,
Eloise.
unlearn and relearn. Thanks for the sharing. Thank you
Yes.
for joining, Eloise. And yeah, like Chiwa is saying, time 10:36 now. Not even question 1. Okay. My bad. But
Have a monitor there.
yeah, didn't you guys enjoy? You know, the whole storytelling was so
yeah.
captivating. You know, like we learned so much from that
It's-
conversation. I mean,
It's
just
inspiring,
listen.
man.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
listen. Everything was good, right? Just listen,
Absolutely.
right? And Cindy was saying, thanks for sharing. Lots of nuggets, exactly. Yeah, so this is an episode you probably want to revisit over and over again, you know, like because we learn so much, especially whenever you feel down, like, you know, somebody rejected your whatever cold calling and all that, you realize now Sharon didn't need to do that when she was so young, and up to now, and she's still talking about learning and all that. Fantastic, you know, like really, thank you so much. And let's get back to the question. Let's try.
Let's
try.
let's
try.
let's
We-
try.
let's try. We go one question. Let's see what it will trigger. You know,
Yeah.
like Sharon said, one thing will always lead to another. You know, and I'm
Absolutely.
so excited to see what this will lead to. Now, I'll bring this up. So I was told by Andrew that there's an event space. You know, so obviously you are now beyond co-working space, which is, I believe, the co-working space is already in place. Now you're talking about event space.
Yes. The
So what
event,
about that?
yeah, the event space, we just built the event space. Like I say, we have like 7 stories, 8 stories of space to fill up, right? So we have already used up like 3 stories for
Right.
co-working space. And this is the event space is about listening to customers, because we have a lot of customers that come in. We do have an event space, but our event space, if you look at our website, is the deck sitting, is very casual, very young, hip, and things like that. And then you get people coming in and say, I want to do classroom style training. You know, do you have those that has got 4 walls, private classroom style? But we couldn't cater, because ours was the very casual one. So then we said, okay, since we have the space, and why not just build another event space. So now we do have an event space that cater for theater style sitting, classroom style sitting, where you can actually do your classes, trainings, and stuff like that. Yeah.
What's the capacity like?
For classroom style with table and chair, we can sit up to 50. For
Okay.
theater style without the table, it will be up to about 80 people.
That's not
Yeah.
bad. That's reasonable.
Yeah, that's
With
pretty cozy.
sound systems and that stuff like that.
Yeah, Manfred,
Yes.
Yeah. So
don't
yes,
tell me you forget the question.
No.
I come
So
Singapore.
I understand you put in a lot of effort. That was 2018, 2019.
2019.
For your co-working space. Then COVID came.
Yep.
We did
What do you-
2019. We did 6 months, right?
Mhm.
We did 6 months, and COVID came. So
Then-
so we already have some customers which is already rented our space. Our customers are mainly private office space people.
Right.
We found our niche, which is all the private SME, not so much of the startup that come and do all the hot desking and things like that. They want their private offices. So when the pandemic hit, the first thing, because of our, I guess, is our nature of providing assistance, providing help, right? The first thing that came to our mind was, what's going to happen to our tenants? right? 4 months cannot come to work, cannot open, cannot come to the office, right? So no question asked, we waive 4 months of rental. Yeah.
Oh my God! How I wish my landlord was like you, man. Shit, I tell you.
Because we went through that journey. We were
Yeah.
there before. We were a startup, right? Before, right? And
Wow.
so I mean, the office space is already there, right? So to support them, okay, since they can't come into the office, we shouldn't be charging them, right? So we create a lot of goodwill with our customers, I think, and we are very sincere about it. It's not just about selling space. Uh, a lot of people ask, how do we compete? I can't compete with a lot of the big boys, and I'm not there to compete. What we want is, what we do is we are very bespoke and we're very boutique, right? So I spend time talking to our customers and say, okay, what kind of business are you in? Would my space be able to fit you, or can I create a space that will fit your needs, right? So we customize a lot of things, yeah. So they stay with us. I mean, to answer your question, Manfred. So because of all this, then after that we also reduce the rental for them. They, I think they appreciate the goodwill and they continue to stay with us. And today our private offices are all full. So
Oh.
we are now built. That's why we have built new private offices now. Yeah. So really thank God for
So
that.
these are long-term
Yes.
tenants,
Yeah.
Usually
long-term
long term.
contracts.
Mm.
Fantastic. Happy for you,
Wow.
Sharon. But
Next.
one thing caught my attention just now from your sharing. Okay, you're saying that you don't know how to compete with other people, but you have your own stuff. Do you think being a newbie in the industry helps you because you don't have the burden of you gotta do this way, you gotta do this that way. So that gives you the room to shape your own philosophy in this business, which in a way it actually, in my opinion, it totally makes your co-working space stands out from all the competition, in my
Mm.
opinion. I do believe in that. Do you think
Yeah,
that
I
allows you to
can.
do that?
Yes, I can actually be agile and customize. And because we are owner run entity, right? So we can make decision very fast, right? So if this guy doesn't like this door, okay lah, you don't like the door, I change the door for you lah. If you want to rent from me, would that make you happy, right? If
Right.
that is it's only because of the door that you don't like, that you don't want to rent from me, I change the door for you. I
You
can.
want you want 24/7 aircon can be
That's,
done.
we already have that. Our offices are all with 24 hours aircon. So if you rent a room from us, you access the room 24 hours.
Mm.
Wow, nice.
Fantastic, fantastic. But we talk about the website, guys. If you guys want to connect, wait, first thing first, connect with Sharon first, right? If you want to connect with Sharon, go to LinkedIn and look for Sharon Tan dash iconic. That's the URL, all right? So
Yes.
that's where you connect with her, or you just go and Google LinkedIn and search for Sharon. But most
Thank you.
importantly, if you are looking for a co-working space, all right? It's
Or a
full now, by the
long-term
way.
lease.
Yeah, you gotta you gotta join the wait list a little bit. So, but nonetheless, if you want to look for a space,
No, we have new rooms.
okay, new rooms coming in,
New rooms,
and now you know such a good landlord over there. I don't know why not. I mean, but seriously,
man.
she takes care of you and she
Right.
understands your situation. If you're starting up and all that, where can find this kind of like landlord?
Yeah.
Go find
Yeah.
her. This is the website you have to
Thank
go.
you. Thank you.
Landlord from
Iconic.asia.
heaven, man.
Yeah, this is really from heaven, God sent, man. Oh my God, how come I
Wow.
never met you? Anyway, so yeah, I mean that's awesome. So guys, this is the link, iconic, ICONIK.
Yes.
You know, iconic with a K dot Asia. If you are listening to the podcast version of this, so yeah, go over and look it up and basically just look at if there's anything that fits your need. Then, of course, now we talk about an event space right now, so you can actually use that. All right, now let me pick some questions from here. Now, I think Manfred talked about the co-working space being hit by the pandemic. Then I think we want to lead this question to the next one, which is, in your opinion, Sharon, has the usage of co-working space changed because of the pandemic? So before and after, what changed? And then now that you are in the event space, do you think, I mean, okay, that's the next question. Do you think event space is still the in thing? But before that, what about co-working space? Has the usage changed?
I think the pandemic has speed up the agility of work, Before that, there are a lot of corporate who's actually going into agile working because the real estate is getting very expensive, so they don't want to keep building offices. And you realize that managers are not supposed to have rooms. Those days, if you're managers, you must have a room, right?
Yeah.
But after a while, the trend is managers basically hot desking, everybody's hot desking. So it's going that trend. Then after that, pandemic basically speed it to say that you can actually work from home. You can actually work from anywhere, right? It's the connectivity that's important. So yes, it has basically changed the usage of co-working space. I see more and more people who feel that, yes, they're happy to work from home, but sometimes they want to get out from the house and just go and land somewhere and just work, not in a cafe, because it can be very disruptive. You go into a co-working environment, it's a working environment. So yes, we do have more and more people who comes in and say, oh, I just want to use the space for one day. Yeah, and we sell that as well, $30. Just pay $30. You spend a whole day there. Internet, everything is inclusive. Coffee, tea, free flow. Cookies and stuff like that.
Printing,
So that, yeah,
printing yourself.
printing and things like that. It's all there. You see. So
Wow.
yes, it has definitely increased the acceptance of using a co-working space. And I've known of companies which subscribe to co-working spaces around the different areas in the city for their employees. So it's like, okay, you're home. Okay, you is today is not conducive, or you want to come, don't have to come to the office because the traffic is bad or whatever. Just if there's a co-working next door to you, just go into the co-working. They basically prepaid some packages for their employees. So it's going that trend. Yeah.
And even among local companies, the foreign companies tend to have this kind of culture,
Yeah.
but local
Yeah.
companies?
So far, the ones that I've heard is the foreign companies, but I
Right.
think local companies should start to catch up already,
Just to add
because
something,
nobody wants to come to our office anymore.
Yeah, very
Sharon, I
true.
don't know whether you
Yes.
notice or not. Yeah, there are some people now have this kind of habit. They like to Monday go location A, then
Yes.
Tuesday like go location B,
Yeah.
Wednesday go location C, then keep changing. No,
Yes.
there are
Yes.
people like that. No,
Yes.
very
Because
interesting.
they want to experience different environment. They also want to experience different communities, right? You go to location A, you get all the, maybe the finance people are all there. You meet different people. Yeah,
Yeah. It's also a nice networking opportunity as well.
So
exactly.
in a way, Sharon, you mean people are coming back to meeting people. So the pandemic actually did not really put away the fact that people still want to meet people.
I think now more that the more people wants to meet people,
Yeah.
So it's like people are basically, I mean, we are just all social animals, like we just being
Very
too
true.
away for too long. So now it's like events are coming back. I was calling caterers, and they're all full.
Wow, nice. That's good.
So happy to hear that. Seriously,
Yes,
yeah,
Yeah,
it's good. It's
that's
a good
good.
thing. At least the market is coming back.
correct. Business is
Else you can't go
back.
through this forever. Seriously,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
seriously think that.
Yeah.
I think that the 2 years, 2.5 years of being cooped up at home, I think made everybody appreciate the beauty of face-to-face meeting. I mean, we used to take it for granted, like, oh yeah, meet face again, and all these things are very boring.
Yeah.
But after
Yeah.
2.5 years, we didn't realize that we actually miss those things.
Correct. Yes.
That's very true. That's
Yeah.
very true. Right. So I mean, that will lead us to the next question, which is like, since this is kind of like a trend and the market is reviving in a way, coming back, and as Sharon mentioned just now, the way people work has changed, and eventually, I believe the increase in demand in co-working space. I mean, just share with us your personal opinion. Do you think more and more offices will be converting into co-working environments right now, moving forward in years to come?
Because nobody's going to office.
Yeah, but then again, these spaces are being built there, right? Like
Yeah.
what you experienced in 2019, like
Right.
you have a place,
You got a
don't know
place,
what to
but
do.
nobody's coming in.
Yeah, would that
And
happen?
in fact, a lot of what you call that, big brands, property owners are going into co-working. I mean, you look at Colab is owned by the Paramount Group,
Yes.
right? They own Starling Mall, so they have got this huge floor of co-working. Nice, very nicely done. A lot of are going that direction as well. Yeah.
That's
So,
true.
okay, I mean that's really something coming up. But what about events? Do you think events is still gotta be that thing? That's why I don't have this question over here, so I'm just gonna
I,
have this.
I think yes, events definitely is here to stay. But then there will still be the online events as well, because now that with the pandemic, people are used to online event does work, right? But you just have to mix it, because after a while it's like so Zoom fatigue, right? It's like, you don't get the interaction. So events will definitely be more effective. Face-to-face events will definitely be more effective. Yeah.
Okay. Now we have a quick sharing from Eloise. She said she did experience co-working space to attend an online training, but overall it's nice, but the time to stay in the room is not really flexible. She said you can't even stay up to 5 minutes if your duration is over, else you'll be locked in. Wow, that's scary. Wait, which
Really?
one?
Come to my place.
Now,
Come to my place.
yes.
Ah,
We didn't go to a place called Iconic.
yeah, you
Yeah.
gotta look for Iconic. The brand Iconic, ICONIK. You gotta go
Yeah.
there.
You will
.asia,
get
by the
that.
way. Yeah. You
We
don't
don't
get
lock
locked in.
We don't lock people in.
It's so scary. You get locked in. Then what do? You knock on doors and somebody come rescue. Oh my god, that's scary, Royce. Yeah, but thanks for sharing. That's a very interesting story. That probably want to circle back to entrepreneurship. Okay, like now I think a lot of people went through the pandemic, and some people went out of business. Some is actually kind of like just joined. What would be your advice as a very very super seasoned entrepreneur that have built and sold several companies, and now you're starting something with a totally different mindset? And what would be your advice to budding entrepreneurs or fellow entrepreneurs in the post pandemic era?
I think there's no difference. If you want to be an entrepreneur, make up your mind to be an entrepreneur. Just do it. I have a concept that there's no back door for me, right? When I go into something, I will close the back door, because every time if you have a back door with you, you will say, okay lah, I give it a try lah. If worst come to worst, it doesn't work, I go back to this, right?
Right.
Then you will definitely not work because you already have planned.
Correct. It's the power of the mind. So you have already conditioned your mind that if it doesn't work, I still can have another escape route, ma. So when you tell yourself that you don't have any other choice but to make it, when I had to sell my encyclopedia, I don't have a choice. I have to knock on that door. It's really fearing when the first few times you go to a big reception, and then the guy, you go to a house, right? You knock on the door and say, auntie, can I further go?
Right.
And then small kids will come and say, then you see all these people close the curtain right in front of you, it's like pretend nobody's at home. Because the woman is out there trying to sell you
Or
something.
the dog come and greet you.
And the kid will say, Mommy say she's not at home.
Yes, and the small kid will come around and say, Mommy say she doesn't want to see you. Or my mommy said she's not at home, right? Mommy just said, right?
Yeah.
So just have to push it through, right?
Yeah.
If you continue to say, okay, because of this rejection, okay, I'm just gonna give up. I'm gonna do something else. That something else, you're gonna end up with the same thing,
With
right?
a
Because
different
you have
difficulty.
that- yeah, you have the exit.
Sharon, it never occurred to you to say, go and find another job, office-based job kind of thing. It has never occurred to you, despite the experiences you have gone through with the encyclopedia.
She cool, ma. Come from Fraser Hill.
Yeah, cool.
Cool.
Oh.
Chill, can happen one.
Chill.
You don't give up easily, lah. To be honest.
Yes, that's the thing that
Let's not give up. It's not inside her vocabulary.
I just
Missing.
don't want to give up. It's like when the first day, the business that we had, right, 3 years, 0 sales, right? To me, it's like I just cannot give up, because I already sold all the seeds already. It sure can come back one, ma.
Wow.
Sharon, next time I don't want to drink with you. Confirm I told.
That one you will win. That one is okay. That one I will give up.
What makes you think that she wants to drink with
Yeah,
you?
what makes you think? But I think.
You sake, ma.
Yeah. Sake, that's nice. But I think it's also about believing. You see, for some reason, I keep hearing those actually entrepreneurs. You hear so many stories that actually it's about believing. I think that's something strange that we always believe that
That's
things
true.
will happen.
Correct.
It will freaking happen eventually. But those who gave up, actually, they don't believe in that. I think that's really some I would say some call it naive. Why would you believe in that? But it just happened, right?
We are eternal optimists.
Yep.
Right.
But you need to do something which is sincere and which is real, right? Not the bullshit business and try to get con somebody out of it. Then obviously it's not lah. But if
No
you
quick
have,
bucks lah.
yeah, if you have a very good service, a good product, you really need to believe in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Bob was actually raising. I mean, before that, Manfred, you go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm just curious for your co-working space. You do organize talks, right? Like yourself sharing your experience from seasoned entrepreneur or people who want to share digital marketing. These kind of talks,
Yes.
I would love to attend. Although I'm based in Singapore.
We,
Yeah.
we did that. That was how we started because when we started, nobody knew about us. So the only way to basically tell people about us was to organize all these entrepreneur founder story talks and co-partner matching kind of events lah. So that's why we managed to do it for 6 months. Then the pandemic hit. Then we kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, good to know that Manfred is interested to join. So do something. See, Manfred will come or not. Sharon, let's see whether he come or not. Yeah, he raised the flag already. He said he would love to attend. Yeah, he said he raised the flag, Mark. He said he'd love to attend even he's from Singapore. Let's see how can make it or not.
Let's see.
Like, you know him better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, Bob actually raised something about commune living, and
That's
which is,
accompanied by UOA.
yeah,
Yes.
it's like co-living. So what's that? What's that?
Different brands. This is different
Oh,
brands.
so this is a different brand.
Co-working brands. Like WeWork,
Right.
Yeah.
Co-living is basically more than work. It's basically creating a place to stay. It's co-living. It's like,
Oh, is it?
yes,
Yeah.
it's staying in. It's like an apartment. All right. A
Right.
lot of property owners are doing that. They have an apartment, right?
Right.
So co-living, you rent a room. So it's like, to me, it's nothing new. Because it's a lot of us basically. A few people rent an apartment. Each person share the room. It's basically like that. But the co-living bit is a bit like if you get the same people within the community, and then you build something. The IT, the techie guys. We
I see.
live together. You work together. You create something.
Right.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
co-living, I think in Singapore there's a company called Hamlet.
I think
HMLET.
co-living is interesting. I think this could be the future. Why? Because the population is aging, and a lot of people probably don't have kids. When they get older and older, they probably need to have a community to live together with. I mean,
Yeah.
that could be a probable future.
Yeah.
But thanks for bringing it up, Bob. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Good.
All right, cool. I mean, that probably brings us to near the end of this, but we let Manfred do his,
Wow.
website of the week a little bit. But what do we have? Guys, we still have a little bit of time if you guys have any questions about, as you can see, today is not so much about co-working space though. It's very much about entrepreneurship. Awesome.
Co-working
We love that.
space was just a clickbait.
Yeah,
Get
it
Sharon
was totally
on
a
and then to tell
clickbait.
a story,
Then we
yes.
realized we used the wrong clickbait. We talk entrepreneurship. I think we probably will have a lot more people.
Actually,
Next time we do that, we dive deep. All right. Yeah, I think I like it. Totally awesome sharing. If you guys have more questions, feel free to pop in the comment. We will still be able to bring it up for Sharon.
And you can follow
Meanwhile,
her on LinkedIn.
Manfred has got the website of the week. I don't know what is that. So
It's a profile pic maker. It's
Okay.
pfpmaker.com. Can you see the
Okay.
screen?
Yes.
we are seeing the
Looking at it.
screen.
Yep.
So make an awesome profile picture from any photo. Okay.
Will you be demonstrating?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you remove AI, remove background remover, instant generated profile picture.
Well, that's cool.
Okay. So it's I think a bit related to last week episode.
Last week was Male Genius, right?
No,
Was it
as
Male
in
Genius?
we Grace actually took photos, but this one is actually cropping out
Right.
with all the different. Okay, let's do less talking and do actual try. Let's try it
do
out.
show.
About time, man.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see how it works. Profile picture for any photo.
Okay. It's generating profile picture.
Okay.
Let's see whether.
So are they making this profile picture into some animated stuff like that?
No, not animated. As in they remove the background, then they.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have different templates for you to choose.
So this is the free stuff. Oh, okay, not bad.
Okay.
See,
Looks cool.
you can do all this.
Wow, not
Interesting.
bad.
You
Interesting.
can square size or circle size.
Yeah. In a way, let it pop lah. So, guys, if you're listening, for the benefit of those who are listening to the podcast, Manfred is actually browsing pfpmaker.com, pfpmaker.com, which is a profile picture maker in a way.
Office one.
Yeah, interesting. So he's demonstrating actually how it looks like and all that, and he will even show you how it looks like
Oh,
on
that's not
Facebook and
bad.
stuff.
That's
Yeah, not
Facebook
bad.
and LinkedIn, I think.
That's
Instagram.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's all.
All right, thank you.
Right.
Thanks, Manfred, for the
Awesome.
sharing. That's a good one. And yep, that brings us to the end of the show, and really awesome sharing from Sharon. Really, wow, so
Inspiring,
much
man.
golden
For
nuggets,
us,
inspiring. Yes, and definitely, I want to bring this up again. If you guys are looking for a space or event space, even you know who to talk to, just go over to iconic.asia with a K, iconik.asia. This is where you can find out more about the co-working space, and about the event space as well, which is Sharon just shared the information about that, which is totally perfect place for you to do your next training and events and stuff. Like, it's the best place. And now she's such a good landlord, basically. Who doesn't want to work with Sharon? She doesn't
At
lock
least,
you out
at least
after 5
this
minutes.
co-working space won't lock you out after 5 minutes.
Yeah, she doesn't lock you out after 5 minutes. That's a scary thing to do, man.
You
Okay?
get
Now,
access 24 hours.
yeah,
24 hours. Wow.
exactly. So, Chiwa was saying, wait, before that, sorry, I'm jumping a little bit. The progress is saying, hi, Sharon. Felix.
Hi,
Is it
Felix.
Instagram? Felix is here. Super inspired with the experience. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for joining us, Felix. And of course, we have Chiwa here saying, awesome sharing today. Not much on the co-working space, but sharing your journeys, the stories are awesome.
Oh, yes.
Totally agree. Love that
That's
so
more
much.
valuable.
All right. So, okay, I think that brings us to the end of the show. Remember, we do this every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. If you miss all the 87 episodes, including this one, you can actually go back to my YouTube channel and watch it again. And we have so much awesome interviews, just like this one with Sharon. We have learned so much from our previous guests. Go over and actually learn that. And with that, thanks again for joining us tonight, Sharon.
It's
Thank
an honor
you.
to
Thank
have
you.
Thank you
I'm
so
looking
much.
forward to episode number 100.
Yeah, we are totally looking forward to that. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining us. And Sharon, stay back. We'll come back to the backstage a little bit. So,
Okay.
guys,
Thank
see you
you,
next week,
everyone.
Wednesday, same time, 10 p.m. Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Cheers.
stay safe.